Yeah, no, no. I've said, no, if they want me to play the bad guy and the bad guy lives and gets the girl, I won't do it.
You ended up spending some time in San Quentin, which is a notorious jail. I was wondering if you were there in 1969 when Johnny Cash played.
No, no. I
Oh, you
left.
get to see.
I came out. I went to Soledad. I got kicked out of San Quentin. They sent me to Folsom, and
Okay. And
and I,
was there any kind of entertainment? Because obviously a lot's been spoken about Johnny Cash concerts. Was there any entertainment for you when you were in prison? Did you see anyone kind of come and play music or anyone
Merle
act?
Haggard. There was a guy named Merle Haggard was there, and but he was in prison. And,
Oh,
and,
were you friends with Mel Haggard?
it's really funny. No, we ran in different circles. Prison is very, very segregated. Really
Yeah.
segregates herself,
Okay.
and but we had some amazing talent. Prison is like a warehouse of talent, and it's also a warehouse for insanity. But
Sounds like the movie industry.
what?
Sounds like the movie industry.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so there's two kinds of people in prison. There's predator and there's prey. So you have to decide which is what you're going to be. You know what I mean? Every morning, and you might decide you're going to be a predator, but somebody else might decide you're going to be prey. So it's probably the most tense place you'll ever be. You can, the tension is so great, you can actually taste it. It has a taste.
And if you hadn't have lived the life you did as a young man and you hadn't have had that experience of prison, you might not have been cast in all these brilliant movies, and you might not have ended up being a counselor as well and helped other people. So would you have done anything differently given a chance? I mean, if you could turn back time, would you take back all those robberies and the drugs if it meant you could just live a normal life now?
You know what? I really love where I'm at right now in my life, in my spirituality, everything. And I know I couldn't have got here if I was like just a Republican, or just just like a good guy. I don't think I ever would have got here. I think my uncle helped me to become a survivor, even if it meant being a predator, and that got me through prison. Sure. I knew what to do in prison when I was 12 years old, because we used to talk about it all the time, and he showed me how to box. I started boxing when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. So by the time I was lightweight and welterweight champion of every institution I was in. When I came out of prison, I started having club fights, fighting in clubs, because I couldn't get a license because of the violence I had on my record. Anytime armed robbery, you have violence, they won't give you a license, and they put me on probation. Okay. So I made money fighting in clubs. It's kind of like, I don't know, outlawed fights or something.
Yeah. Okay. And in the film, what strikes me is you come across as a really joyful, happy person, despite your kind of troubled start. What's your secret to your happiness?
You know what? I think I talk about it. In 1968, me and Ray Pacheco, Henry Quijada, we were involved in a pretty bad prison riot, and we, they're going to send us to the gas chamber. So I remember making a deal with God and saying, if you let me die with dignity, I will say your name every day, and I will do whatever I can for my fellow man. And I thought it was just going to be like a couple of years, and then they were going to kill me. But God fooled me, and he said, okay. So I am paying a debt. You know, like I don't like today. 2 days ago, me and another ex-convict and 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 three lifers that we got out of prison, we were passing out Pampers, in downtown, and that's what we do. We'll pass out food, pass out Pampers. I got 7 restaurants. We pass out 500 meals every other day, and I don't blame anybody for not helping. I don't blame anybody for not giving because they don't owe. Do you understand? I owe my life. In fact, I asked God a couple of days ago, how am I doing? And he goes, you're almost out of hell. You just keep it up.
I want to know what's happening with Machete Kills in space. I saw you post a movie poster on April 1st, but was that an April Fool's?
Yeah, April Fool's, I think. It's like, Robert Rodriguez went to sleep on that one. You know what I mean? It's like, God, everybody in the world was waiting for that.
Okay, so nothing going to happen. So
I don't know.
We don't know.
I might write one similar.
Okay. And I've heard somewhere that you also have your own collection of machetes. Is this true?
I have a collection of machetes that you would not believe. Everybody sends me machetes. I wish I would have had stock in machetes. I have signed thousands of them. But
I mean, what do you do with your machetes? Obviously, your life of crime is behind you now. Do you just kind of
on the wall? I have a room with a lot of trophies and stuff, and they're on the wall and hanging out.
So during lockdown, have you been working on your rose garden? I hear you're quite the green.
Oh God, I wish I could show you. We had the most beautifulest roses. We had roses. I had this huge fountain, and then I got tired of it, so I blocked it off. We put flowers in it, and it's like just. God, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
Yes, please. So when did you learn to get so green-fingered? How long have you been a gardener for?
You know what? I used to do yard maintenance in Soledad for a while. And then when I got out of prison, me and a kid named Danny Levitoff started a gardening business. And we did really, really well. And we didn't even have a lawnmower. We would knock on somebody's door and say, hey, can we mow your lawn? And they sure, okay. Do you have a lawnmower? If they had a lawnmower, we'd get it, go next door and say, would you like us to mow your lawn? And then we'd use their lawnmower.
I want to know, who's your favorite director to work with?
You know, well, Robert Rodriguez, I mean, he's put me in like 11 movies, but there's a guy named Craig Moss. I did a movie for him, and I owe him a lot because he had a low budget movie called Badass, and there was a favor because they had no money. It was a no budget movie, and so I said, okay, I'll do it as a favor. But on the set, I met the producer, who was a guy named Ash Shaw, who said, Danny, why don't you open a restaurant?
Okay.
And jokingly, I said Trejo's Tacos. And 2 movies later, because Badass turned into a trilogy, we did three movies altogether. And so 2 movies later, he brought me a business plan. And me being the brilliant businessman that I am, I immediately gave it to my agent, Gloria, and said, Gloria, read that, see if it's any good. And she came back and said, Danny, you know what, I think we have to do this. This is a good idea. So if it wasn't for her and Ash, I wouldn't even be in the restaurant business. And
you just had a cookbook come out as well, I saw.
Ta-da!
That's the one. Yes. Tell me about, what's the best recipe in there? If I was to get a book and cook one recipe.
Okay. We have mushroom asada. We have some real good, we have a mushroom that tastes just like carne asada. It tastes just like steak. And it's
it's vegan or vegetarian?
Right, both. And then we have a cauliflower taco. Anthony Bourdain loved it. He loved it, and then it was a #1 recipe like 2 years straight, I think, in the LA Times. We have the best nachos in the world. The best, I'm telling you. It's like,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we can put, we have shrimp nachos, we have carne asada nachos, we have carnitas nachos, we have barbacoa. And me, I like to make the plate of nachos is like this big. And then I put 2 eggs over easy on top and make it breakfast and lunch together. It's delicious.
Danny, you're making me hungry. That was my last question. Thank you so much. It was
When
lovely.
are you going to be in Los Angeles?
I'm supposed to be. I used to live in LA. I used to live in Silver Lake, and I was supposed to be back there last month, but obviously.
After this, when you come to Los Angeles, you get a hold of me at Trejo's Cantina in Hollywood, and dinner's on me. You and your family.
I'd love to come. Thank you so much, Danny. It's so nice to meet you.